Hello everyone. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then subscribe to this channel. Sodder youngsters vanishing on Christmas Eve 1945. Misfortune struck the Sodder family in Fayetteville, West Virginia, as a staggering fire obliterated their home. While 5 kids figured out how to get away, the vanishing of the Sodder youngsters, Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty, keeps on tormenting agents and relatives the same. The mysterious circumstances surrounding their disappearing act, combined with the family's persevering quest for answers, change this story into quite possibly of the most persevering and bewildering, perplexing problem in American history. In the midst of the happy atmosphere of the Christmas season, the Sodder family's Christmas Eve took a terrible turn. George and Jenny Sodder, along with 9 of their 10 children, were sleeping soundly when fire overwhelmed their 2-story home. Around 1:30 a.m., a call made the family aware of the flames. The Sodders immediately realized that 5 of their children going in age from 5 to 14 were missing. Efforts to rescue the children were hindered by the intensity of the fire. Despite the family's desperate efforts, only George, Jenny, and 4 of their children, John, George Jr., Sylvia, and Marion, escaped the blaze. The realization that 5 of their offspring were unaccounted for filled immediate panic and paved the way for a years-long quest for answers. In the aftermath of the fire, investigators believed the 5 missing children had perished in the flames. However, the lack of human remains or identifiable traces of the children's bodies raised suspicions and planted the seeds of doubt. The Sodder family wouldn't accept the official story, prompting them to embark on their own mission to uncover the truth behind the strange disappearance. The case of the Sodder children's disappearance is marked by a series of unanswered questions and perplexing inconsistencies. Absence of human remains. Despite the intense fire, no human remains were found in the ashes of the Sodder home. This absence contradicts the assumption that the children died in the blaze. Flawed wiring theory. Investigators initially attributed the fire to faulty wiring. However, George Sodder contested this theory, citing that Christmas lights remained on even after the fire started, suggesting that faulty wiring wasn't the cause. Strange sightings over the years. The Sodder family received reports of sightings and encounters with individuals who claimed to have seen the missing children. While some accounts were dismissed, others fueled the family's hope that the children could still be alive. Mysterious call. In 1967, the Sodders received an anonymous letter containing a photo of a man resembling their son, Louis, who disappeared that fateful night. The letter contained no explanation, adding to the mystery. The Sodder family's refusal to accept the official account and the lack of concrete evidence have resulted in various theories and suspicions. Abduction. Some believe the children were kidnapped or abducted, either before or during the fire. Sightings and encounters reported by the family have fueled this theory. Silenced witnesses. The Sodders were outspoken critics of Italian dictator Benito Mussolini, as George Sodder was an Italian immigrant. Some speculate that the disappearance may be linked to political enemies seeking revenge. Witness tampering. As the Sodders claimed, the night of the fire, their phone lines were tampered with, preventing them from calling for help. This led to suspicions of deliberate interference and foul play. Unknown identity. The mysterious photo sent to the Sodders in 1967 reignited hope that at least one of the missing children may be alive and living under a different identity. Despite facing numerous challenges and setbacks, the Sodder family remained steadfast as they continued their search for answers. George and Jenny Sodder fervently advocated for a reinvestigation into the disappearance of their children, stating that there was more going on than met the eye. In 1952, the Sodders hired private investigator C.C. Tinsley to look into the case. Tinsley found that the original investigative efforts were flawed and incomplete. The lack of an autopsy report and thorough examination of the fire scene fueled suspicions that crucial details had been overlooked. Legal battle and case reopening in 1968. The Sodders successfully petitioned to have the case reopened by the Fayette County prosecutor. A hearing was held to examine the evidence, during which the Sodders presented their concerns about the initial investigation. The judge ruled in favor of the authorities, stating that there was insufficient evidence to warrant further investigation. The legal battles and efforts to reopen the case highlighted the Sodder family's determination to uncover the truth, even in the face of official resistance. The Sodder children today, as the years passed, the surviving Sodder children continue to search for their missing siblings and to keep the case alive. Despite their ongoing efforts, the fate of Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty Sodder remains unknown. Conclusion: a haunting mystery. The case of the Sodder children's disappearance remains as an eerie and perplexing mystery that has endured for over 70 years. The lack of definitive answers, combined with the family's relentless pursuit of truth, imbues this story with a sense of tragedy and unresolved questions. The Sodder children's disappearance transcends time, challenging the limits of investigative efforts and prompting reflections on the complexities of human loss. As the story endures in the annals of unsolved mysteries, the Sodder family's quest for answers continues, and as a powerful sign of the enduring impact of unexplained tragedies on the fabric of human experience. Thank you for watching.